My girlfriend accused me of being controlling because I asked where the rent money went. I didn't argue. I just called the landlord and ended the lease that was under my name. 2 days later, she was standing outside the apartment with all her bags and nowhere to go. I'm 29, work as a project manager for a construction company, and I make good money. Not incredible, but enough to live comfortably in a decent 2-bedroom apartment downtown. My girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, was named Amanda. We'd been together for almost 4 years, lived together for the last 2. The apartment lease was in my name only because when we moved in, her credit score was trashed from some bad decisions in her early 20s. I didn't mind. I trusted her. That was my mistake. Our arrangement was simple. I paid the rent directly to the landlord, $1,400 a month. Amanda was supposed to give me $700 as her half. For the first year, she was pretty consistent. Maybe late sometimes, but she'd eventually pay. Then things started slipping. She'd be short $100 here, $200 there. Always had an excuse. Work was slow, an unexpected car repair. Her mom needed help with something. I let it slide because I loved her and didn't want money to become an issue between us. But over the last 6 months, it got worse. She'd give me $300 and promise the rest next week. Next week would come and go. I'd bring it up gently and she'd get defensive, say she was doing her best, that I was being pushy. So I stopped asking as much. I figured we'd work it out eventually. Last month, she didn't give me anything. Not $1. Rent was due on the 1st. By the 5th, I'd paid the full $1,400 myself, and she hadn't mentioned it once. I let it go for a week, thinking maybe she'd bring it up on her own. She didn't. On March 12th, a Wednesday evening, I came home from work around 6:30. Amanda was on the couch watching some reality show, eating takeout from her favorite Thai place. $40 takeout, by the way. I know because I saw the receipt on the counter. I sat down next to her. Hey, can we talk about rent real quick? She didn't look away from the TV. What about it? You didn't give me your half this month. It's been almost 2 weeks. She sighed, annoyed. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Work's been really slow lately. I'm barely getting any shifts. I'll have it soon. Okay, but when? I covered the full amount and I need to know when you'll pay me back. She finally looked at me, and her expression was cold. Why are you being so controlling about this? Controlling? Amanda, I'm just asking about rent. This is the 3rd month in a row you've been short. Oh my God, here we go, she said, rolling her eyes. You always do this. You make me feel like garbage because I don't make as much money as you. That's not what this is about. I don't care how much you make. I care that we had an agreement and you're not holding up your end. An agreement? She laughed. You sound like a landlord. I'm your girlfriend, not your tenant. Maybe if you weren't so obsessed with money, we'd have a better relationship. I stared at her. I'm obsessed with money because I ask you to pay rent. You're obsessed with control. This is just another way you try to control me. I stood up. You know what? Fine. You're right. I'm controlling. I'll take care of it. I went to my bedroom, closed the door, and sat on the edge of the bed. My hands were shaking. Not from anger, from clarity. This wasn't about one missed rent payment. This was a pattern, and her response told me everything I needed to know. I pulled out my phone and called my landlord, Ed. He's a good guy, mid-50s, owns a few properties around the city. We'd always had a solid relationship. Hey, Ed, it's me. I need to talk to you about the lease. Everything okay? Not really. I need to end the lease early. I know I'm locked in until July, but I'll pay the penalty. I just need out. There was a pause. You sure about this? Yeah, I'm sure. All right. I'll draw up the paperwork. You've been a great tenant, so I'll make this as easy as possible. How soon do you need to be out? End of the month? That works. I'll email you the termination agreement tomorrow. You'll owe 2 months' rent as the penalty, but after that, you're clear. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate it. I hung up and sat there for a minute, processing what I'd just done. Then I started looking for a new place. Update 1, I didn't tell Amanda about the lease termination. Not that night, not the next day. I went to work, came home, acted normal. She didn't bring up rent again. She didn't bring up our argument either. Just went about her life like nothing had happened. Friday morning, I got the termination agreement from Ed via email. I signed it electronically and sent it back. It was official. We had until March 31st to be out. That was 19 days away. That weekend, I looked at apartments, found a decent one-bedroom about 20 minutes away, cheaper rent, quieter neighborhood. I put down a deposit and signed a lease starting April 1st. Didn't tell Amanda about that either. On Monday, March 18th, I came home and she was getting ready to go out. Hair done, makeup on, wearing a dress I'd never seen before. "Where are you going?" I asked. "Out with Jess and some people from her work. Girls' night." "Cool, have fun." She left around 7. I made dinner, watched TV, went to bed around 11. She wasn't home yet. I fell asleep. I woke up at 2:47 a.m. to the sound of the front door opening. Amanda stumbled in, laughing at something on her phone. She saw me standing in the hallway. "You're up," she said, not slurred but definitely tipsy. "Just heard you come in. Did you have fun?" "Yeah, it was great." She walked past me toward the bedroom, still looking at her phone, smiling. "Who are you texting?" She looked up, startled. "What?" "You've been smiling at your phone since you walked in." "Who is it?" "Nobody. Just Jess. She's being funny." "At 3 in the morning? Oh my God, are you seriously doing this right now?" "You're being controlling again." There was that word again. Controlling. "I'm not being controlling. I'm asking a question that implies you don't trust me. That's controlling." I didn't argue. I just went back to bed. She followed a minute later, got in on her side, and went to sleep immediately. I lay there staring at the ceiling until sunrise. Update 2. On March 22nd, I told Amanda about the lease. It was a Saturday morning. She was making coffee in the kitchen when I walked in with the termination agreement printed out. "We need to talk," I said. She turned around, saw the papers in my hand. "What's that?" "I terminated the lease. We have until the 31st to move out." Her face went blank. "What?" "I ended the lease. I'm moving into a new place on April 1st. "You... what?" "You can't do that. I live here. The lease is in my name. I can end it whenever I want. I'm paying the penalty." "Are you kidding me right now?" Her voice was rising. "Where am I supposed to go?" "I don't know, Amanda." "That's not my problem." "Not your problem? We live together. You can't just kick me out." "I'm not kicking you out. I'm leaving. You can figure out your own living situation. You're an adult." She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. "This is because of the rent thing, isn't it?" "You're punishing me." "No. This is because you called me controlling for asking you to pay your share. This is because you've been lying to me, blowing money on takeout and nights out while I cover all our expenses. This is because I'm done being your safety net." "I can't believe you're doing this," she said, her voice shaking. "You're really just going to leave me with nothing?" "You'll figure it out. You always do." She threw her coffee mug in the sink. It shattered. Then she stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door. I went for a walk. Didn't come back for 3 hours. Update 3. The next few days were tense. Amanda barely spoke to me. She'd leave early in the morning, come back late at night. I started packing my things, boxing up books, kitchen stuff, anything that was mine. The apartment started looking emptier. On March 28th, 3 days before move-out, I came home and found Amanda on the couch, crying. Actually crying, not fake tears to manipulate me. Real, ugly crying. "What's wrong?" I asked, not because I cared at that point, but because I'm not heartless. "I can't find a place," she sobbed. Everything's too expensive, or they want first and last month up front and I don't have it. My credit's still bad, so nobody will approve me. I called my mom and she said I can't stay with her because she just moved in with her boyfriend and there's no room. I didn't say anything. Please, she begged. Can't we work this out? I'll pay you back everything I owe. I'll get a second job. Just don't leave me like this. You should have thought about that before you spent $700 on God knows what instead of paying rent. I didn't spend it on nothing. I had bills. What bills, Amanda? Your car payment? Your phone? Those are like $300 combined. Where's the other $400? She didn't answer. That's what I thought, I said. I went to my room and continued packing. On March 30th, the day before move-out, I moved all my stuff to the new apartment, took 2 trips with my truck, and some help from a buddy. Amanda wasn't home. I left her things exactly where they were, took only what was mine. I dropped off my keys with Ed that evening. You doing all right? He asked. Getting there, I said. For what it's worth, you're making the right call. I've seen too many good people get dragged down by bad relationships. I thanked him and left. Update 4, March 31st. Move-out day. I wasn't planning to go back to the apartment, but around noon, I got a call from Ed. Hey, just wanted to let you know your girlfriend is here with a bunch of bags. She's asking where you are. I told her you moved out yesterday. She's, not taking it well. Is she causing problems? Not yet, but she doesn't seem to have anywhere to go. Just thought you should know. Thanks for the heads up. I hung up. Part of me felt bad. A small part. But the bigger part remembered all the nights I'd covered for her, all the times I'd let things slide, all the accusations of being controlling when I was just trying to have a functional partnership. I didn't call her. I didn't go back to the apartment. I stayed in my new place, unpacked boxes, set up my bedroom. Around 5 p.m., I got a text from Amanda. I can't believe you really did this. You left me homeless. I hope you're happy. I blocked her number, final update. It's been 2 months since I moved out. I haven't spoken to Amanda since the day I told her about the lease termination. I blocked her on everything: phone, social media, email, complete radio silence. Through mutual friends, well, people who used to be mutual friends, I heard she ended up staying with Jess for a few weeks before finding a room to rent in some house across town. Apparently, she's been telling everyone I'm a terrible person who abandoned her in her time of need. I don't care. The people who matter know the truth. I also found out, through one of those same friends, that Amanda had been seeing someone else for at least 2 months before I ended the lease. Some guy she met at her gym. That's where the rent money was going. Dates with him, new clothes to impress him, bar tabs when they went out. The late nights, the secrecy with her phone, the accusations of me being controlling. All classic projection. She was cheating and trying to make me the bad guy for noticing something was off. When I heard that, I didn't even feel angry, just validated. My gut had been right all along. I'm doing great now. The new apartment is perfect. Quiet, affordable, no drama. I've been saving money like crazy without having to cover someone else's expenses. I paid off my credit card, built up my emergency fund, even started looking at buying a house in a year or 2. Last week I went on a date. Her name's Laura. She's a civil engineer, works for the city, has her own place and her own car. When we talked about past relationships, she said her ex used to guilt her into paying for everything, and she finally realized she deserved better. I told her I related to that more than she knew. We're going out again this Friday. She insisted on splitting the check last time. I almost kissed her right there. As for Amanda, I don't know where she is now. I don't want to know. That chapter of my life is closed, and I have zero interest in reopening it. Someone asked me if I regret how I handled things, if I should have given her more warning or tried to work it out. Honestly? Number. I gave her months to get her act together. I gave her chance after chance to be honest, to contribute, to be a partner. She chose to take advantage of me instead. When I finally set a boundary, she called me controlling. That told me everything I needed to know. You can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. And you can't build a life with someone who sees you as a resource instead of a partner. I learned that the hard way, but I learned it. And now I'm free. Edit. A lot of people are asking if I could have handled it better by giving her more notice. Here's the thing. I gave her months of notice every time I asked about rent, and she deflected or made excuses. The lease termination wasn't a surprise consequence. It was the inevitable result of her choices. I don't owe someone unlimited chances when they've shown me repeatedly that they don't respect me. Edit 2. For those wondering if I feel guilty about her being homeless, she wasn't homeless. She had options. She chose not to plan ahead because she assumed I'd always be there to catch her. That's not my responsibility. She's an adult. Adults face consequences.